morning and welcome back to the vlog. For those of you who are new to this channel, and that's probably most of you because this is only my second issue, my name is John. I'm a landscape photographer from New York. I also do wildlife, and this is my second video shooting from the Washington DC area. I am from New York City, but I'm visiting my daughter and my grandson. So while I'm here, I'm taking the opportunity to do some scouting. So I'm sure I'm going to be in the area for, periodically for a long time, as long as I have family in the area. And right now I'm about 5 miles upriver, up from the Potomac River, from where I was my last video. I'm at Great Falls National Park, named after, obviously, Great Falls, which you might be able to hear in the background because it's only a few minutes walk from the parking lot. So, I hope you enjoy the following content. And if you do, I hope you hit the like button and subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so that you'll know when you have when future content is coming up. So come on and let's join me on the journey down to Great Falls. Well, that was a grueling 30-second hike from that last shot, and here we are at Great Falls. I have frankly not heard of this park before, not heard of this waterfall before, and this is one of the lessons that as I'm now as a retiree and looking for other things to do with my life other than work for the government, that I'm finding to do is basically explore my own local areas. And those of you who live in maybe less than scenic areas, you'd be surprised what natural wonders there are in your own neighborhoods, or not far, within an hour or so distance. Again, I'm less than a half hour away from District of Columbia, and we have this wonderful a waterfall, wonderful rock formations, vertical slabs. I'm going to have to look up the geology of how these rock formations got formed because I'm really unfamiliar with the area, but it's fascinating. And the light is just great. I mean, the sun just rose a little while ago. It's somewhat muted by the fact that Tropical Storm Faye is just off the east coast. So even though I have blue skies directly above me, as you can see, there is a faded sun, or largely obscured sun, with a lot of clouds just behind the hills. So this actually might make for a pretty interesting panorama, I'm thinking. So I'm going to take a few shots. I'm going to take some detail shots, some wide shots, and see what comes up. And then again, there are two other overlooks further downriver, but this is the one that's closest to the main fall. So I've set up for a vertical pano. I'm probably going to take 5 to 6 images, one left to right. I'm using my 24-70 f2.8 lens set at f11. I added the 6-stop ND filter because I want to get my exposure down, my shutter speed down to about a half a second, which is probably going to be ideal for the falls right here. So let's go for the shot, and hopefully if this works out as I think it will, you'll see it right after this. Hello again. So that last shot was a bit challenging because I had sun in my eyes and sun in my face. For the last part of that panel, I wanted to have it really work to shield the lens. I'm starting to cloud over with it now, and I've set up here for some shots with my long lens, my 70-200. Probably stretch out almost 200 millimeters. This is my setup right here. And at the moment, I'm focused on that lower cascade with the break of the rocks in the middle there. I'll focus on that and shoot a few more detailed shots in the area. I wish I brought actually my longest lens, the 150 to 600, but I didn't bring it. So here's what it is, and we'll see how this works out. I'm not going to cross the square, that's what I'm looking at right now. But again, if this works out works, it's coming up right. right now. I'm at the second of 3 overlooks for Great Falls. And as you can see behind me, the scenery is really quite nice, but unfortunately the light at this time of day, it's already about 9 o'clock in the morning, and it's really just too harsh for good waterfall photography. Now we'll be back here in about a month, for a family function, so probably what I will do is I'll come back early in the morning before the sun is really up, and hopefully I'll catch this spot and other parts of the falls in better light for photography. Again, for tourism touring and just looking, it's beautiful. For photography, not so much. Alright, I've come a little bit down the other way, basically north of my previous location, and I think I found one more composition for the day. It's upriver from the falls. You can probably hear it in the background, but I'm upriver from it. And this little flat street straight here has some interesting rock formation with a bush on it, and then a view to the other side of the falls, and other side of the river, I should say. And as you can see from the clouds, the storm is starting to come in a little bit closer, so I don't know how much time I'm going to have. Plus, the wind is picking up quite significantly. So I put a shutter release on the camera because I need to be able to time my exposure for when the breeze is down a little bit. Just using a 2-second timer is not going to work for this situation. I'm going to bring it to the back of the camera just so you can see what I'm looking at. Okay, so hopefully you can see the back of the camera. I brightened it up actually for a little bit for my real exposure, just for the purpose of the video. I've got focus on that little rock island with the vegetation on it, just forward of those rocks. And then you can see just behind there you have the stretch of the river, and then the hills behind that, and the clouds above. Hopefully if I get a little break in the clouds occasionally, I'll have some nice backlighting of that vegetation, which would be nice. I've got it set at 1/4 of a second, and you can see this. I've got a lot of vegetation movement, especially to this bush that's to the right side of the frame. So I may have to change my exposure a little bit. Change my exposure ultimately for a faster shutter speed, and maybe I might even have to exposure blend. In other words, a shot with a much higher exposure, faster shutter speed, and probably a higher ISO in order to accomplish that, while keeping the aperture the same at f10, and that should work. I mean, we'll see. I'd like to be able to get it in one shot and not have to blend, because blending in moving vegetation is going to be really tricky. But you got to do sometimes what you got to do, and we'll see. Alright, I think that's about it for this location. It's just after 10 o'clock in the morning now. I haven't really eaten, and the park is starting to fill up with tourists. So I think I'm going to call it a shoot, call it a video. I hope you've enjoyed this content. Again, if you'd like to see more of it, please hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Second. Yeah.
We were wondering if you know why it's so sudsy.
That I don't know. I'm not a local. It's probably just a lot of mud kicked up by the turbulence of the river.
That's what I was guessing, but
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome.